What is up, summoners? Welcome to the channel. Today this video is going to be all about Valor, and while I can't tell you exactly what you should spend your Valor on because everybody's in a different situation, I can point out probably the most important things that you should focus spending your Valor on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to total everything up so that you kind of have a good reference to go back to and see what the grand totals for everything are for these individual rewards and items. And then I'm going to walk through how you receive Valor. I'm going to break down some numbers. And while it may seem like a lot of these rewards are really expensive, I think once I break down how you can get Valor, you'll see that as long as you're spending a little bit of time, and I say a little, quite a bit of time, your normal amount of time in the game, we'll put it that way, you should be able to fairly easily pick up a lot of these rewards. As I said at the beginning, I can't tell you exactly what you should spend your Valor on. There are really two kind of different areas of thought here. You can spend your Valor on items that are going to be able to rank up your current roster, or you can spend your Valor on items that are going to be able to add new characters to your roster. So there's two very different ways you can go about it. I would say probably some sort of a middle ground between ranking up and adding players is probably a good place to be. But again, there's a lot of numbers going to be thrown out here, so just please stay with me. Kind of along the line of purchasing things that will rank up your current characters, I would probably suggest only spending your Valor on T1 alphas, T2 alpha fragments, T4 basics, and T4 class catalysts, which again, depending upon what you have in your inventory, will determine what you want to get there. But I'm just going to show you here, I'm going to break down the total amount. So if you were to purchase 5 of each of these things, this is what the totals would be. The T1 alphas are actually very inexpensive. 659,000 I feel like is a very good bargain there. Even if you think you're flush with T1 alphas, you can never have enough of those things. I think that's a pretty good bargain, purchasing all 5 of those at 659,000. The T2 alphas come in 2 different shard versions. You can purchase 720 at a time or 3,600 at a time. If you purchase all 5 at 720, it's a total of 3,600 shards. That's 1.2 million points. If you purchase all 5 of the 3,600 version, that's a total of 18,000 T2 alpha fragments. That's 6.1 million. So that's a total of, what is it, about 7.3 million Valor to pick up about, what is it, 21,600 T2 alpha shards. I don't think that's not terrible. You know, 36,000 is what it would take to get a fully formed one. So that is more than 50% of a T2 alpha. I think as we are progressing towards 6-star characters, needing to rank up more and more 5-star characters, those T2 alphas are going to become more and more important. So I think every time that you have an opportunity to pick those up, you probably should. So that's the T1 alpha, T2 alpha. You can see the numbers there. The T4 basics, if you pick up all 5 of them, it's 4.3 million points, which I'm showing the full amount. I'm just speaking a rounded number here, 4.3 million. And then the T4 class catalysts, which I kind of wish that you could pick which catalyst you want, because you could spend a total of 8 million. You can see there 8.2 million points and not pull a single catalyst that you're after. But it is what it is. If you're kind of newer in the game trying to rank up, it's a great opportunity to get catalysts to maybe push towards your first 550 character. So those are the first 4 areas of kind of rank rewards that I would focus on. All the other stuff is fairly easy to get in the game. Don't think it's worth spending Valor on unless you just have extra Valor you need to spend somewhere. Then on the flip side of that, Valor that you can spend to add characters to your roster through crystals. We've got both the 5-star shards, and then we've got the fully formed 4-star crystals, which the 5-star shards, again, like the T2 alphas, there's 2 different versions you can get here. If you opt for the lesser version, a total of 1,250 shards, that's only 1.6 million points, not bad at all. But then again, that's really not that many shards. But the other version that you can pick up, it's 1,000 shards. If you purchase that 5 times, so it's 5,000 shards, that is 6.5 million points. If you were to go for the fully formed 4-star crystal, it's the same amount of Valor as the 5,000 5-star shards at 6.5 million points. But remember, the tricky thing is here, you got to remember, and I think that I might actually opt for getting the fully formed 4-star crystals first for 2 reasons. You know, again, I don't know where your roster's at, but for me personally, probably every one of those 4-star crystals that I open are going to be dupes. So not only am I getting, not only am I getting the ISO from duping characters, but I'm also getting an additional 1,375 5-star shards. So it's kind of more money, more bang for your buck when you're spending the Valor there, as opposed to spending the 1.6 for the 1,200 shards. You could get the extra ISO from the 4-star crystal plus shards there as well. So that's just kind of I guess a helpful tip. TIP. English much? Okay, so there are the numbers for you to go back and to reference. It may seem like a lot, but now let's get into where you're going to be earning Valor at, and I think you'll see that these numbers are actually very manageable. There are a couple different ways. The first and most obvious way is the event quest. If you go through all difficulty levels of the event quest, it shows you right there. If you do 100% completion, it's 2 million points. So that's actually quite a few points there right off the bat for just doing an event quest that you probably should be doing already. There's a lot of good rewards and all that stuff. Shards, T4 basics, go ahead and get all of that plus the 2 million. The milestones for the arena. Now keep in mind there will be 8 featured arenas this month that you can take part of. If you are only picking up the milestones, so you're only going to 4 million points, that is 150,000 points in each featured arena. If you multiply that times 8, so if you do that in every arena this month, that's a total of 1.2 million points. So as you can see there, do the event quest, do your milestones in each arena, that is 3.2 million points. If you were to do the bounty missions, which I'm going to assume that there will be one of those every single day for you to take part of, it's only 15,000 Valor points if you do each difficulty level. But again, if you multiply that out times 30 days in a month roughly, that's 450,000 points. So that gets us upwards of what, 3.65 million points. If you were to get the milestones in the arena, you're going to be earning Valor points for where you rank at, which on the low end, if you just fall into the 61 to 100%, for 8 arenas, that's 80,000 points. If you push up a little bit higher than that, you can go all the way up to 320,000 points if you were to rank upwards in each of the featured arenas. So again, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of points. If you do all of those things, you know, you're only talking about 4-ish million points, a little over 4 million points. But the big one comes into play with the solo events this month. So the solo events, you'll see them right here. If you don't do the vanquishing blow, let's just say you're using 4-star characters. You can see you get 1,500 points each time you win a fight in the featured arena, or excuse me, each time you win a fight with a 4-star character. That's 1,500 points. So stick with me on the math here. Let's say that you do, you have a win streak in the featured arena of 150. All of those, let's assume you used 4-star characters for. So that's a total of 450 fights times that 1,500 Valor. That's 675,000 Valor. That's for only doing 150 win streak. That's quite a bit. But the big kicker here is if you do the bonus for the vanquishing blow, that is 4,000 points. Let's say you only do the vanquishing blow in half of those 450 fights. That's an additional 900,000 points if you were only doing it in half of those fights. So that's 1.575 million points per featured arena. Again, there's 8 of them. That would multiply out to 12.6 million Valor points. And that's only on the low end. That's only if you're doing 450 fights in a featured arena. That's only a win streak of 150. That's only doing vanquishing blows on half of those fights. But people will do win streaks much, much, much in excess of 150. So it is possible to do probably 3 to 4 million points in a featured arena if you're a serious grinder. And if you multiply that out times the 8 featured arenas, you're talking upwards of 25-30 million Valor that you've got to spend. So that's what I was saying. If you're just going to do the event quest, milestones, the bounty, and then rank in the arenas, you're only talking around 4 million-ish points. But the big one there is the vanquishing blows. So that's really where a lot of the Valor is going to come from. If you're really going hard after these grinds, like I said, if you're doing probably a 200, 250 win streak in the featured arenas, you're going to have more than enough Valor to purchase basically everything that I just mentioned. I mean, if you roughly add up everything that I mentioned, you'll be somewhere around 32 million-ish points. Which, remember, not only are there rewards that you can purchase with the Valor, but there's also the leaderboard to keep track of. So there's a double incentive there, even if you're not going after the featured character, so to speak, not for the top 800, really to get in there and to push, to grab all the Valor rewards, plus try to get yourself on the leaderboard, maybe snag At the very least, a 3-star Thor, but try to go after that 4-star Thor for the top, what is it, like 1,000 people, I think, that they're giving that thing out. So, again, I know there's a lot of numbers here. Hopefully, you can just kind of pause the video and look through the totals that I've given, and hopefully that will be able to help you out, kind of make a game plan for yourself moving forward in this month. But certainly, if you have any questions, comments, would love to hear all that down below. Follow me over on Twitter. Follow me on my Discord servers. Great place to discuss this as well. All right, guys, hope this helped. Until I see you all in the next one, have a great day.